Nice.
Hello, and welcome to the Studio 25 Podcast Network with Creative Outpost. Executive producer David Warner. I am Steve Cully, and this is, of course, Steve Cully's Festivus of Sports. Yes, it's a Festivus for the rest of us. And my co-host, very special guest, former teammate and friend, defensive lineman / tight end / athlete / broadcaster / financial advisor, Sean Mulcahy. Welcome to Festivus.
Oh, I love the Costanza remarks.
I forgot to put the Costanza. That's my favorite part of it. I have the Costanza logo, which I love to put up. It's there it is. Happy Festivus. And yeah, you are temporarily out. You will come back very shortly. Your internet is connecting as we speak. Loading, processing. It's loading and processing.
Here we go.
There you go. Loading and processing. Oh, did you get a call?
Yeah. So now I put the curve on.
Okay. So I put the Happy Festivus one on. I have that, and I gotta get the human fun. That's the other one I want to get. It's a human fun.
So tonight when we do the other half hour, I'll get my get up on. I got a little outfit, but one of my favorite episodes, the Apollo, when he's in like the they're in the diner, and George is like, I tell you what, Jerry, I just feel like the whole world is against me.
Yes, the whole universe is against me.
It's great. It's great.
And what's so funny is the final season. Like, I only watched the last 2 seasons of the show. The final 2 seasons were my junior and senior years of high school. And then after that, I always remember I would go out and get shit-faced, and I would specifically come home at 11:30 at night, because on WIBX 11:30 they would have the Seinfeld reruns, and that's how I caught up on watching all the Seinfeld shows. And I couldn't understand it. It was like this. I was like, this is about, they take the most minute issues and they just argue and banter about it. It really is a show about nothing.
Totally. It totally works. They nail it. And it's so relatable. There's so many topics in one episode. I usually watch it every night before bed on WPIX. And then on the weekends, it's on TV Land.
Yes, yes.
I'm not watching an archaeological special or a geography history special. It's Seinfeld before bed, because those two put me right out. The other episode that killed me with George is when, I forget the name of the episode. Oh, it's the Bellman episode where Jerry becomes doorman. So
that's the best part.
So Kramer sees the German tourists and picks up George. When first of all, he calls George Porky, and when he tells them to stick him up and then he grabs them, you got to put it in slow motion or record it on your phone and put it on slow motion. You could tell George Costanza is not expecting Kramer to grab him and shake him like reaction is like, Jesus Christ, George, what are you doing, Kramer? It's
Now, let me ask you this, because you're a Seinfeld fan. Are you also a Curb fan?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Curb Your Enthusiasm was awesome, too.
I think my personality, I'm more relatable to Larry David. We have a lot in common.
Yeah. I'm more of a Costanza, I would say, than anything. I was probably more of a Costanza. But I loved Susie Essman. On Curb. I wish I could have a mouth like hers.
So I'm glad you brought this up.
I wish I could swear like that.
And it's amazing. I'm glad you brought that up. this is the perfect segue for a little teaser later on in the second half of our show. One of Susie Essman's first roles ever was the New York City travel guide in Crocodile Dundee.
No.
She's in the subway giving a tour to Asians. I think they're Japanese.
Oh my God.
So here's the segue. Later on, we're going to talk about great movies in the 80s with not guns, but different type of weapons. Notably, the Crocodile Dundee. That's not a knife. This is a knife. So that's a little teaser.
That most certainly is.
Yeah. You know, just in case we got Rambo over here, we're gonna get into all that later. Yeah. I don't have a gun, let alone many guns to necessitate a gun, but I do have blades.
Yes.
Yeah, Susie Essman in Crocodile Dundee at the end. Yeah, and
I would never expected that.
And the Japanese tourists in that scene help Dundee. And they go, you know who that was? That was Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood. Funny. So funny.
Yeah, I know. The other show I had to ask to see if you watched, because it may be right up your alley. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Have you ever watched that?
I have definitely watched that. I got to admit,
I didn't get into it.
But I'm a huge Danny DeVito fan. Like any episode I've seen of that is fantastic. All the characters are great. The chick is hysterical.
Yes, she is.
They're great. Like everything's great about it. You know, we only have so much time.
Katie Olsen.
You know, one of Danny DeVito's funniest roles is in Romancing the Stone. And that has
I haven't seen that.
So it's like a two-parter. There's Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile.
Okay.
So Jewel of the Nile is the sequel.
Is it an 80s movie?
Yeah, the first one came out in like 83 or 4, and the second one came out in like 86. It was a quick turnaround because they had so much success.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, there's a scene, Danny DeVito's in both, and there's a scene with Danny DeVito in the first one, Romancing the Stone, where he's a criminal in a Mexican jail, and he goes, the police down here are mobilized like it's Iwo Jima.
I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that for sure.
Hysterical, because he's trying to rip down his wanted picture off
the
police station, and he over the like border wall or like the wall because he's so short. It's just, you know, I have no problem watching Always Sunny. Do you watch any adult cartoons?
See, no, I've never gotten into the adult. I've heard about them because Uwe watches them. I have never watched them are they on the Cartoon Network?
Yeah. So
okay, I gotta check them out.
You know, and anything touched by the hand of Seth MacFarlane is
yes.
So like I've seen a lot of American Dad.
I've heard that. I've never watched it.
Shit I could bring up. I missed the Cleveland show. I thought that show was fantastic.
I heard that was good too. It got shut down early though, right?
Yeah. You know, Family Guy is just the
Family Guy is, yeah.
Love South Park and those guys. Rick and Morty has surprisingly really good. But
wow.
And here's the kicker. I just fell into this. I couldn't watch Bob's Burgers because the characters I thought were so unappealing looking. But the writing's fantastic. So now my whole family is hooked on to Bob's Burgers. It's a great show. It's very well written. It's so funny.
And that's good to hear because television has kind of fallen off the last few years. Yeah. I mean, there's just too many services, networks, whatnot, and so like I feel that I could write a show with you and it would be better than 90% of the stuff that's on.
So it's what's funny is they're begging for material. It's they're recycling shit and they do a bad job at it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just amazing. Like, and the reason is because it's such a tight, like, knit circle. You know, it's so incestuous out there in LA and stuff. Like, it's tough to let anyone in with new ideas.
Yeah, I can see that. So I wanted to ask you, did you get a chance to watch the UConn women at all last night?
Yeah, watch the whole game. I'm telling you,
What a game, man!
Yeah, Sue and DT were cracking me up. I mean,
Yeah, I should have watched that. I should have watched that.
It was great. They were really funny. I don't know, like, just their comments, like, you know, like we were talking earlier, the fact that they're retired and laid back and nothing off the cuff, like, they're funny. I was really impressed.
Oh, D was always hilarious. Always hilarious. She was so much fun to hang out with.
Great person.
And she never had an ego. She hung out with all of us.
Yeah.
I love I do a show with Maria Conlon, and Maria's the same way. Maria's she's like you, a Connecticut legend, and she again, she's just so nice, doesn't have an ego, and it's very rare to come across people like that. So I do appreciate it. I should have definitely listened to Dee and Sue instead of the commentator. I hate saying this, but I don't particularly care for Rebecca Lobo. Rebecca Lobo did the game last night for ESPN. I didn't like her, but
I worked with her a little bit at S&Y.
Yes,
super nice husky.
Yep.
It just I don't want to say it's disingenuous, but you can tell it's professional. Where Sue and DT, they're not hiding anything. Like,
no, they're having a blast.
Like, Rebecca is a professional, so
it's a job.
Yeah. Where these two, they are characters.
Oh, I know. And what's good is, you know, I remember Sue very well. I had her over, cooked her Valentine's Day dinner. I cooked the entire team Valentine's Day dinner. And Sue was always like an introvert. Yeah. And it's just good to see that Dee has brought it out of her.
Yes.
Brought out the personality.
Quiet. So quiet.
She was. And it was good to see that. But we were watching the game. We did a watch along, and it went well. It was fun. I thought, man, they just had an incredible game plan. I thought they looked so much faster than USC. USC just, I mean, it looked like they had all four guards spread across the 3-point line, and they were just trying to feed the ball into Betts, the 6'7" girl.
Yeah.
And then we had a great plan, collapsing on her and harassing her all night. And that's what I thought really made the difference. And then AZ played incredible. Paige, obviously.
Our bigs played really well.
Jana Al-Alfi, I give her all the credit in the world, because leading up to that game, she had only played maybe 10 minutes the last 2 or 3 games, and Ice Brady hadn't played as much. So, and I kept joking on the air, I'm like, Jana, she gets to drink water now. That's what, because it was Ramadan. Now, like she wasn't able to have water or anything. And now she can drink water. So that's why she's playing well. And Erica kept getting mad at me for saying that, but I thought it was pretty funny. But listen, it's so hard to believe they haven't won a title since 2016. And this is their year. I mean, Paige has been through so much, and what's his face? Courtney Williams was on last night.
In 10 seasons?
Yeah.
Brianna Stewart didn't win one?
The last one was 2016. It was Stewie's last year. Yeah, that's what I said. And Courtney was and Schumann were nice enough to remind me that I bashed Paige all summer and during the fall, because she was jet setting She was, she was watching Caitlin Clark play. She was traveling. She wasn't on campus working out with the team. And my mindset was kind of like your mindset would be like, Randy would never let us do that. If I told Randy, hey, Coach, I'm going to be out in Iowa, I'm going to go watch Caitlin Clark. Yeah, he'd be like, your locker will be gone when you get back, just so you know. Like that never would have fly. So that's what bothered me. It's just she wasn't with her team working out. Now, that doesn't mean, obviously, I'm sure she was working out very hard. I'm sure she had a trainer. And she also, it seemed like during the year, she didn't have the greatest season. And then, she turned it on during the Big East and she turned it on during the NCAA. And I don't know, like, because I asked Maria if I thought if it was like load management, if they tried to like limit her or not during the season. And then, so she was fresh because she's had so many injuries. But Maria said no. Maria just thinks it's, she realizes it's her last time in a UConn uniform, her last opportunity to get a national title, and she's pouring it on.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Like people come back for their senior year and like really get after it. Not everyone can focus like that, and she's doing a great job. You stay this hot going into, what are they going to play? They going to play Tuesday night, Monday night?
No, man, they got to play Sunday. They got a raw deal, and
a deal.
We do a Husky hoop show. We do it with Joe D and Maria, and Joe D was just infuriated with the women's schedule because
the night after the men.
Yeah, that's what it used to be. Now they're rushing it. They had to fly from Spokane directly to Tampa after their last game. And they obviously played and won. And then now they play Sunday at 3:00. So they played Friday night at 9:30. And now they got to play for the national championship Sunday at 3:00. Like, come on. Like, there's no reason to rush through it. That's what bothered me. I don't see the point of it. It never used to be that way. Maybe
there's, I don't know, like there's usually a good reason. And all I can think of is NBA games, Major League Baseball just getting started, Tuesday night baseball night, maybe a series hockey game. And the only other else thing that would do it is like a State of the Union or something like that.
Yeah, the two areas, they picked Birmingham. Who wants to go to Birmingham? And then
before
where?
Do you ever when we got injured for NFL?
Oh yes, I hated Birmingham. I absolutely hated it. Every time I hear Sweet Home Alabama, I cringe. Something goes off in my head.
You are one of the few people in the whole fucking universe to be able to relate to that song.
Yes.
You hate on it. You tell people, I fucking hate this song. They go, why?
I do.
Live there.
Because they would play it and all I'd hear is Roll Tide Roll.
Yeah.
Sweet Home Alabama, Roll Tide Roll. And I was going out of my mind there. It was just awful. And then they would hire spies. There was a guy from 2 years ago when I had played who was still there on a knee injury because because you get paid. Yeah. If you milk the injury and say you're never healthy, they have to keep you there and treat you and pay you. So this guy, a lineman, hurt his knee, and when I went there and had my ankle surgery, he was still there, and they would actually hire private investigators.
Yes.
To take pictures to just like see if you were limping or if you threw your crutches away. Yeah, it was nuts how that was. But yeah, I absolutely hate Birmingham. I don't know why they sent people to Spokane.
Bayfield, and I run the show down here.
I couldn't stand that man. I could not stand him.
Because I'm the boss.
Oh, that voice. I hated that voice. Oh, he drove me nuts. That was just that really was a miserable place. That was the definition of a miserable place. But I wanted to ask you because I read this article yesterday. Shedeur Sanders is allegedly moving down the draft board like crazy, and I don't understand it.
I'll tell you why.
Do you think it's his dad or his attitude or?
Earlier, and it's true, this does hold some weight. Like, you ask agents or analysts or scouts, whatever, early in the season, like during the season, have you evaluated the rookie class yet? No, I haven't evaluated the rookie class yet. All right. So now watched all the game tape.
Tyler King is watching our show, and he wants to know why we're both gay. And he said, Randy let me take a summer semester at home one year. First of all, I don't believe that for a second. There's no way Randy would give you a summer semester home.
Fair.
What's that?
Like, so after my senior year, he had one more year, so it could have been that year.
Oh, come on, Tyler. There's no way Randy let you go home. Randy hated you.
5 minutes away.
Oh, that's true. That's true. He did live 5 minutes away. Tyler had to come on and harass us. That's great. That's amazing.
Tyler.
Yeah, we do an MMA show with him, and oh no, he's got another comment. That's gonna be great. 100%. Okay. All right. I'll believe you, Tyler. I'll believe you. Randy let you go home. Well, congratulations.
So I could see it.
Yeah, you're right. I forget how close he was. You're right. He probably was allowed to go.
What were you asking about Shedeur? Oh yeah, so the tape's out. Everyone's seen it. And during the season, all you see is the highlights. You don't really see the bad unless you're
watching
the game. So now they've seen the bad, and the bad is kind of bad. Like he has, the main thing I've noticed in some of the film that I've seen is he has not been great with situational awareness with the blitz pickup.
Very poor.
Like calling out the right protection,
sliding it the right way. Yep.
Come from that's all the NFL. So that's why he's calling, because if you're not good at that, it's gonna take you some time to pan out in the NFL.
Are you familiar with the Ole Miss quarterback?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Okay, because Jackson something they're saying that he's on the rise. So I was just surprised to hear that.
The thing with him, all the tools are there. Everything's there.
Okay.
So that's something you take a flyer on. Like, I think the best quarterbacks need to sit. I love what they did.
I agree.
I love what they did in Atlanta with Michael Penix. Even though he didn't sit a year, he sat almost a year, and it worked out great. So if any team can do that, I'd say this guy needs, at least a season on the bench from Ole Miss.
Let me ask you this, because I'm a fan of this guy. Nobody else is. The Chargers signed Trey Lance.
Yeah.
I think Trey Lance can play. I don't think he's gotten an opportunity. I just think he's been written off. Do you think Trey Lance could end up a starter in this league? Do you think he'll flame out? Do you think he'll be a career backup?
So this is it. This is pretty much his last shot.
Yes.
This is pretty much it.
It is.
And he's with one of the best guys he can be with.
Yes.
For the situation. You could ask Orlovsky who would be better, and I'm sure he'd say Shanahan or McVay. But Jim Harbaugh might be able to get something out of him. And if something happens to Herbert,
which he's been injury prone. Yeah. That's why they signed him.
So again, another guy with the tools, like that was the thing when he got drafted. It was only 1 year. He only started 1 year at North Dakota
Yeah,
State.
and I think it was that spring of COVID where he tore it up.
Yes. So he has now sat what? He's been in the league 5 years. He's going in his sixth, is it? Third. Okay.
I think it's 3.
Okay.
I think it's 3. 3 or maybe 4. This could be his 4th.
Okay. So he might have another shot, but this experience with Harbaugh is it's only gonna help.
It's gonna make or break him. Yeah, I agree with you.
It'll be really good for him because Harbaugh, he's a good players coach, man.
He is.
He knows how to be tough with the guys, and then he knows how to be easy on sensitive guys, and he knows all these positions. He's from a coaching family, and he played quarterback in the NFL.
And he played it well. He was gritty and he played it well. And listen, I'm a Trey Lance fan. I don't think he's gotten a fair shake. I hope he gets one here. That's all I'm saying.
So you look at the situation, the sitting for years could help him.
Which he has, yes. Which he has. And I agree with you. I think the sitting for the past 2 years hopefully will make a difference. And if he gets a chance to play this year, we'll get to see something different from him. I really hope so.
One of the best examples of someone sitting a while and really soaking it all in is Geno Smith.
That's what I was just going to ask you about. I was just going to ask you about Geno Smith. Because he got... Yeah.
Ben McAdoo wanted to give him a shot, but he did it in a terrible way.
Well, yeah, with the Eli Manning.
I got it. Eli had lost a lot.
Yeah, you had to go with someone else.
And I got it. They just went about it the wrong way. And then Eli also didn't help the situation where he was like, we'll start the game, but we want to put Geno in.
For a series or whatever.
Yeah, and Eli put the ultimatum on him. He said, either start me or bench me. Don't take it away. But he had the opportunity to keep the starting streak going.
I know.
Turned it down and said, sit me if you're not going to continue to play me.
Yeah.
So it's a tough spot,
When you have a legend like him, I mean, and it just seemed like he fell off a cliff that year with his play. It just went, and nobody expected it. And Geno Smith has just been in awful situations, with the Jets when he got fucking knocked out and they broke his jaw. He was gone for 6 weeks, or it was maybe the year. I can't remember. But just I love the quarterback reclamation projects like Baker Mayfield. I'm so happy that he was able to turn it back around. It's good to see that. Geno Smith turning it around.
Great example.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield.
I stand that guy coming out in the draft, mostly because of his police video where he tried to ditch the cops. Have you ever seen that?
I have.
Hysterical how he eats it. He just fucking eats it, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "This dude's such a punk." As a D lineman, I hate quarterbacks.
Of course.
But he won me over, and I think that's one of the best compliments you can give someone is when you say, "I don't like you at first, but you won me over, and I really like you now."
I think he was humbled and he matured. He was young when he drafted,
but he's got grit and he came.
Yes.
Vengeance. He's like, fuck you, fuck everybody. I'm fucking good. And he proved it. I love that shit. I hope that happens with Carson Wentz. I hope it would be cool to see him come back.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Baker Mayfield, I think, his mistake was with Cleveland. He was trying to do the right thing and he played hurt that 2019 or 2020 season. 2019 it was. He played hurt and he didn't have great numbers and it got him shipped off. And it's you're gonna punish the guy for trying to fight through an injury and be there for his team, and then trade him for the massage specialist for Deshaun Watson and give him $260 million guaranteed. And now look at the position you're in. Now they, what do they do? They traded for the Steelers guy, Kenny Pickett, And then who knows if they're going to take a quarterback. The only quarterback, they say is worthy is Cam Ward of being taken that high. And then nobody knows what the Titans are going to do. I personally think they should take Travis Hunter. I think Travis Hunter, he's a generational talent. I don't think taking a quarterback just to take a quarterback there is worth it. If they can trade down, maybe. But I would take Travis Hunter. So he's going to give you something both ways.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up. So there's a guy I'd like to introduce you to, a friend of mine. He's a bookmaker for a casino in Las Vegas, and I've known him since elementary school. Huge Yankee Giants fan. We were talking about this yesterday. So I don't have a problem with you taking Shedeur and letting him sit behind Russell and Jamison. Especially,
I agree.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with you taking Abdul Carter, because I'm not sure you want to re-sign Kayvon Thibodeau, and these guys always get hurt. So no problem with me. Travis Hunter, I don't have a problem with you taking. I also don't have a problem with you trading back a few spots to get one of the linemen.
Yeah.
Because you always need linemen. I'm also
always
for this. This is out of the box, but it could totally work. You have to draft at least 2 offensive linemen every year.
Oh, easily you do.
2 offensive linemen every year.
Yeah.
And including the free agency bring in.
Right. Right.
Just because since you were a coach and we've lost that time. They've taken away the time for a lot of drills and specialties with the O-line. You don't have that time to work with these guys to enhance their skills. So their pass blocking and run blocking, once they've graduated college, is not as good, and everyone needs another learning lesson. So it behooves you not to take at least 2 guys every year. I would take 3. You take one in the first or second, the other in the second or third, and the other in the fourth.
And the late round lineman picks always pan out for the most part. I mean,
you can get a guy off the street to catch a ball all the time. You
can, yes.
There are plenty of good guys out there that can run with the ball and catch the ball, but you got to find them.
Yes. And Courtney Williams last night, I just wanted you to know, he loved your point when we were talking about tight ends and how they would turn their ass into the hole and try to position block and just get driven back. And you noticed that and just collapse it. He said he thought that was a very, very insightful analysis on defensive line and tight end play. He really liked it. He thought he did a great job.
A lot of truth to it. It's that's what I tried to look at. What benefit do I have being a former D end and bringing it to tight end? Because that happens a lot in high school, but not from college to the pros. And you learn more in college than you do in high school. So I was able to take the college knowledge to the pros for tight end, as opposed to taking the high school knowledge to college with the position flip.
So I'm just going to ask you 2 more questions quickly, because I'm curious to know your thoughts. The aforementioned tush push has been tabled for another couple months before they decide on it. What are your thoughts on that as a play? Do you think they should dump it, or do you think they should leave it in?
I don't know. I understand both sides of the argument. Part of me doesn't like the fact that they want to get rid of it because they can't stop it.
Because it works. Yeah.
Another part of me doesn't like it because it really does resemble a rugby play.
It is. Yes. It's a scrum. Yep.
And then, now the other side why I want them to keep it is I want to see the defense that says you're not fucking getting that through us. We haven't really seen that yet.
No.
I definitely want to see, you need to bring in a Vince Wilfork and a Sam Adams now.
Just scheme it up. Yeah.
Scheme it out. Maybe you bring an O-line guy in on goal line that had some D-line.
A bigger body, yeah.
Oh, like figure it out. And the main reason the Bills and the Eagles can do it, the Eagles, for one, have one of the strongest, if not strongest, quarterbacks in the league.
Jalen Hurts, yep.
And by far the strongest offensive line.
And when Kelsey was there, too, yeah. They're massive.
No shame on the Detroit Lions offensive line, but the Eagles got them a little. And the O-line up in Buffalo is fantastic, but they also have an insanely strong quarterback.
Josh Allen, 6'5". Yeah, he's a big dude.
50.
Yeah, he's a monster. Yeah.
He's big, like me, it's like almost like me playing quarterback.
Well, it's crazy because when you watch him, he never slides, and it drives me nuts because we're in Bills country. Yep. He just goes head first. He doesn't give a shit.
And you love that as a football player. You love that as a teammate.
You love it. It scares the hell out of me, but yeah, I do love it.
An owner, you're petrified by it.
Because he ain't sliding, he ain't going down easy. He's going to try to truck you, and he does 90% of the time.
I love that. The quarterbacks back in the day, that was the best at that. But he ended up paying the price because they were able to target him, and it was also a different time where they were allowed different types of hits. It was Dante Culpepper. Now, he was straight up.
Oh, right.
He was straight up 6'4".
He was monster, yeah.
EN tight end playing quarterback. He was thick, and he was trucking dudes. But now people started to know it was coming, and back then DBs were like, "Yo, I'm just going to take out."
They're going to go low. Yeah. No, I partied with him, Dante Culpepper, because he was there in Birmingham having his ACL done by Jimmy Andrews.
Drew Brees was having his shoulder done.
Yeah.
Chargers looking at the Dolphins and the Saints.
Yes, and he was lucky he got signed because I remember he tore it in like the rotator cuff. It was in the last game of the year. It was like the worst time for it to happen, and Jimmy Andrews saved his life. I wonder if James Andrews still does surgery. He's got to be like 92 by now.
Yeah.
The last question I wanted to ask you, the New England Football Patriots.
Yeah.
Where do you see them going in the first round? Now, I think they gave up on the quarterback from Alabama a little early. Other people just think he stunk. I thought that he could have developed into something productive, but they moved away from him and they went in a different direction. What do you do now? They really haven't brought in a veteran presence. They have that Joe Milton. I've never liked Joe Milton. I don't think he's the answer.
They traded him.
Oh, they did. Okay. Oh, you're right. That's right. They did. No, I know they traded the Alabama kid.
Yeah. So yesterday they traded Joe Milton to.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, that was yesterday, like at 5:00.
So who do they have? Do they have any quarterbacks?
No, they got Drake May and
Drake May. That's right, Drake May. That's right.
Or a good one.
God. Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing. Drake May.
If I think they want to get Travis Hunter for Drake May.
That'd be perfect. They got to put weapons around him. That's how these quarterbacks succeed. That's why Sam Darnold had the year that he had. He had weapons around him. That's why Joe Burrow succeeds. He has receivers to throw to. And the Patriots traditionally have not had those talented, dynamic receivers other than when they had Randy Moss, Stallworth, and Welker. They don't have that. So I agree.
Surprised if they up, like say it goes quarterback.
Yeah.
Giants, Carter, or the Patriots say, listen, we'll swap picks with you and you get next year's first. We want Travis Hunter. This way you can get maybe Abdul Carter or the O-lineman from Missouri or Maryland, whatever it is.
Tyler keeps giving you thumbs up. I don't know if you see it or not, but he keeps giving you.
See anything.
That's okay. It only comes up on mine because I'm hosting. He's been giving you a lot of hearts and thumbs up.
I love you.
Giving you hearts and thumbs up. Yeah, Tyler predicted UFC Fight Night tonight. So we'll see how that goes, see how his predictions are. But yeah, I know you got to run. You got your kids. We'll definitely reconvene later. I can't wait to see this
We got to
outfit.
talk about Rambo and Dundee.
And the Dundee. I'm gonna go try to watch that movie in between. Yes. I'm gonna try to watch that in between. So yeah, I'll text you and we'll reconvene later tonight.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. And then like I said, if you want to do a show with me and you want to do something sports, pop culture, news, whatever related, come up with a name. I'll add it to my Spotify account and we'll get it going because your viewership is great. You've been drawing that.
What about like, I don't know, SNS, like Steve and Sean?
Oh, I like SNS. Sounds like S&M. I like it. SNS.
And my wife and I like S&M. So
Husky talk SNS. I like it. All right. Yeah, we can do that. I will create that for sure. I'll put it in Spotify. I'll put it in everywhere. That's a great idea. And it'll be sports, pop culture, news, anything's on the table, movies.
Yeah.
We'll do it all.
I love it, man.
All right. Well, you have fun with your kids, and we will talk later tonight. And we're going to get you a green screen and a microphone, and you're going to be a pro.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
All right, my man. I'll talk to you soon. Great job,
right, bro. Thanks.
Oh, just remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at Tyler King.